Today we have a two-part video. The first part of the video is the meter scan in Lapeer that was done on March 25th, and after the video afterward about what happened with that Lapeer meter and the questions it raised. Okay, we're out in Lapeer today scanning DTE meter 5702457. Let's see what this one does. There's 16 and 11 microwatts per square centimeter. This meter is definitely broadcasting. It doesn't pulse very often, but when it does, it seems to be pretty strong compared to other opt-out meters. On the upside, it's not pulsing as frequently, so that's good for the homeowner here. Another light pulse, 0.112 microwatts per square centimeter. It's weird, it does a series of light pulses and then it'll throw out the big ones. They're very far apart. 2.3, that was a pulse. What we have here is a DTE meter, radio off stickers. See them on both sides. This customer in Lapeer has paid the opt-out fee. They pay an opt-out monthly fee to have the meter manually read. This meter does not display opt-out. I've been here for about a half an hour looking at this meter, doing some previous recordings, and have yet to see opt-out display. Normally, opt-out displays pretty much constantly. I have my meter calibrated for the 900 megahertz band, which is the band that the smart meter broadcasts at to transmit to the other meters in the neighborhood and then relay it all down to DT. This meter broadcasts not only on the Zigbee band, which is 2.4 gigahertz, it also broadcasts on the 900 megahertz band. There's something seriously wrong with this meter. This meter is not opted out by any means. It doesn't say sync net. It doesn't say opt out. I do believe this is a bad meter. One thing is for sure, it is definitely not a properly opted out meter. Here's another DTE failure for you folks. Big shocker, right? This meter is all over the place. 12.55 61 milliwatts per square centimeter. 6.8 microwatts per square centimeter. 5, 8, 21, 20. That's a big broadcast. 7.8. Holy smokes. I hope this camera is catching this because that thing is pulsing hard. There's a 1. .3 microwatts per square centimeter. That's another pulse. Yeah. This thing sits stagnant, not running much for a pulse, and then all of a sudden it just starts hammering. 7.7 microwatts per square centimeter. This one is definitely interesting. 8.2 microwatts per square centimeter. 24 microwatts per square centimeter. And this is on the smart meter band. This thing's definitely broadcasting to DTE. This meter is so screwed up, who's to say DTE is even getting it? They may firmly believe this is opted out and they don't get the reading at the station, but fact is the radio is trying. It's probably failing, or could be failing, but it's definitely trying. This technician did not know what he was doing, or this meter has failed along the way. But one thing is absolutely 100% true here. This is not a properly opted out meter, and this is a DTE failure. No matter whose fault it is a failure. Another reason why we need our analogs back. The analogs did not fail. You never heard stories of analog meters catching fire on the back of people's homes either. There's children in the area, there's children in the house, and we have these flaky meters. They're like a ticking time bomb. It's not if, but when. Wait for one more pulse and go ahead and shut down the recording. I'll have enough data and enough documentation to go ahead and wrap this up. This customer is not getting the service that they paid for. 68.52 milliwatts, 20 microwatts. Yeah, this one is definitely, it does go, it goes hot, goes real hot. Okay, gonna let the customer know that they need to call DTE, and I would definitely push for a new meter correctly opted out to be brought out and installed. Okay, now that you've watched the meter scan, a question that seriously concerns me is DTE swears by the security and the privacy of their meter network, of the AMI network, or whatever they want to call these things. We'll just call it the smart meter network. That meter was installed in November of 17. That meter has been broadcasting, attempting to send its data along to the other meters, possibly collecting data from other meters in the area, and maybe it was collecting data from other meters in the area and forwarding it on. I don't know. I will never know without DTE stepping in and answering these questions, which they never will. But the fact of the matter is what kind of alarm or intrusion system, what kind of network intrusion system does DTE have? That meter was broadcasting since November of 17 when it was installed. When that meter was installed, the technician told the homeowner that there was another radio on, but they don't worry about that. I do believe that was the Zigbee radio, because that is the radio that I keep finding on all of these opt-out meters that I'm out scanning. And like I've said, DTE doesn't know how to get to the Zigbee radio in a lot of these meters. There's only a handful of techs that actually know and are trained to get to that Zigbee radio. None of the other field techs know how to find that in the program. Potentially, that meter was broadcasting since November of 17 when it was installed. It was March 25th when I went out to scan that meter. That was 5 months of that meter attempting to send and receive data from all the other meters in the area, and DTE never caught it. Had they had caught it, you know they would have been out to check on that meter and see what was going on with it, because it's not supposed to be doing anything. It's an opt-out meter. The radio stickers, the radio off stickers, are on both sides of that meter. That meter was most likely defective out of the truck and still installed. Now, that meter has been attempting to broadcast for 5 months, and no red flags were raised on the DTE computers anywhere for them to know there could be a possible intrusion or somebody has cloned a meter and is attempting to gain access to the smart meter network. Really? But DTE ensures us that our safety and privacy is their first concern. Well, I call BS on that. These guys don't know what they're doing. They will never know what they're doing. They rolled this whole AMI meter thing out way too soon. They did not properly educate the public. They didn't interact with the public on these. They just said, these are coming out, we're putting them on. You don't have a choice. Shut up or get shut off. And this is exactly why they have had the resistance that they have had from customers that do their research. We've seen the problems that these meters have caused in other parts of the country and their rollouts. Meters being court ordered out in California because they were catching fire on homes. People hear about these stories. People don't want their houses burned down. People don't want to be spied upon. People don't want their meters hacked. People don't want to pay any more than they already owe. Security is a big factor with these. Not only security, but safety. And DTE can't even properly turn radios off on these meters. They just say, oh, that one, yeah, we don't worry about that one, as the technician told the Lapeer homeowner when it was installed in November. Really? We don't worry about that one when you have just paid $67 to have all radio frequencies disabled on the meter that they are forcing on your home. They don't worry about that. That is ridiculousness. On top of the $9.80 they charge you every month to come out and read it. And most of the times they don't even come out and read. And then you got to play hell trying to get your $9.80 credit back for all the months they decided to skip. And then when they finally do come out, you get a monstrous bill because they've been estimating you with estimates that a third grader could give a better estimate. So the security on these meters is not up to snuff. If it is up to snuff, nobody is checking the logs. There should be red flags all over their computer system for that area if it is as secure as DTE states that it is. I should not have beaten them to that meter to discover that it's still trying to talk to the network. It's still knocking on the door, hey, let me in. I don't know if it got in or not. That's only DTE will know. But fact of the matter is I know for a fact that meter was knocking on the door to the network, wanting to get in. And any system admin knows that should have set off a tripwire or some type of set off a log in the firewall for that network. And if it is properly being maintained, somebody should be watching those logs, those tripwires, watching that firewall and all activity, incoming and outgoing. That is their job. Last I heard, I think DTE has 3.2 million customers. And I guarantee this isn't the only one. They don't care about your security. They just want to not have to send people out to read the meter, and they don't care if your bills are correct, because if you don't pay it, they just shut you off. You don't have any other choice. You do not have any other choice but to pay whatever they demand, whether it be right or wrong. They are way premature on this rollout. They put the cart in front of the horse. They don't know how to properly opt out these meters. They don't know how to check system logs, if there is any logs, because the meter in Lapeer was knocking on the network door, if not just being let in, for 5 months, and DTE never even sent a truck out to check on that meter. Security is definitely a big concern with these. The Lapeer meter proves it. All this stuff is going to come back to haunt DTE. They don't care about their customers. They don't care about their health. They don't care about their concerns. They don't care about their safety. They don't care about their privacy. And they don't care about their security. This is unacceptable. I challenge DTE to prove me wrong.